And spawning in the bottom right hand corner here of Title Citadel, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player, the Finnish Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Serral. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player. The blue Terran, we have the South Korean Terran for Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Here we go. We're getting into our best of. We're getting to our best of 3, getting into game number 1 here. Title Citadel is one of the more interesting maps out there and often vetoed. Is a larger map of the map pool. It has a gold base on the left hand side, but also has some really awkward bases back at home. The 3rd and 4th base are very spread out and very isolated from each other. So even defensive rotations can be very awkward. Trying to defend your bases back at home, trying to keep up with the movement of your opponents. Army vision or map vision, map control, map awareness is even more crucial here on Title Citadel in the mid game. Is more crucial. Meanwhile, straight up CC first. Okay. CC first out of Ryung, cutting corners, being a little bit greedier here. At the same time, Serral going for his own delayed hatchery. Early pool. Okay. I see you. So earlier pool, earlier gas, later hatchery out of Serral. You don't often see this out of our Finnish Zerg player. Okay. Now, as a result, we have earlier queens, earlier ling production. The downside is that Serral cannot punish this. Because this CC is so fast, it will finish by the time lings get across the map. Even though these are earlier lings, they're not early enough to punish this. So when it comes to the openers, I do favor Ryung's position, but I do feel like Serral has potential here because you look at this. Link speed is on the way, and Serral, he's staying in gas. You typically pull out. You typically pull out of gas to be able to be more efficient here. And when it comes to early game mining, the extra gas means we can go for a faster Baneley Nest for a Bane Bust. We can go for a faster Lair. We can go for a faster Tech. So this is a very aggressive, very sinister build by Serral. Very sinister. He's link flooding. Okay. He's going for the link flood. You can see he pulls out of gas. But he did mine up to almost 100 gas. He did scout the CC's already done. The orbital's morphing in. Behind this, racks into factory. Into reactor Hellion. Lings, they keep rallying. And Serral, he wants to at least take control of the low ground. It looks like Serral, because he scouted the faster CC, he decided to pull out and not invest into a faster lair. So they move in. They hit the mineral line. They go for the Marine! Oh no! Yeah, the Marine is going to get surrounded! Oh my god, Marine barely gets picked up. Lings, they commit. And SCVs are going down. Massive big ups here. 3 SCV kills. Hellions, they just now pop out. That's going to be 5 SCVs. Does confirm the 3 CC. Oh, we're getting another SCV towards the end. Yeah, 6 SCV kills. Likewise, gets a full scout of the main. Confirms the 1-1-1. Confirms the later command center. Serral, he sees all. Does see all, does know all. Behind this, Ryung going into a Viking. Interesting. So Ryung, he is willing to play mech. I bring this up just because Viking's going to be hunting down the Overlord. And we could go for an add-on swap. We could go for another tech structure. Add-on swap is on the way. Do we see another factory, another starport, or another Rax? There it is. We have confirmation mech. We brought it up for a reason. So there it is. Second factory, no add-on swap, and now it makes sense why Ryung is opening Viking. He wants to deny vision, deny scouting, and make sure that Serral doesn't see what's happening in the main. Serral's gonna be playing blind. Here we go. I see Senor Mintler in the chat. Bienvenidos. Messian, who took it? If you're referring to the previous series, SOS. SOS. It was very close, very clutch in the ace match, but SOS did win in the end. Meanwhile, we do have a faster lair here by Serral. Tells go for the faster layer. Meanwhile, Ryung going for extra factories. Oh boy.
Queen birth successful.
And again, Serral has yet to slip into the main. To slip in behind this, going into battle mech. We do have a set of advanced ballistics. We have magfield accelerators on the way. Getting into magfields, getting into additional factories. Serral Serral is going into his own Baneliness, getting into Ling Bane. Again, Serral, he's unaware as to what's going on, otherwise he would be getting a Roach Warren. He's going Ling Bane Muta. Ooh, okay. Now, who hits first? That is the big question here. There's going to be a big window in time where Serral, he's going to have some Ling Bane. There's going to be 0-0 Ling Bane as well. I feel like Ryung can abuse. Ryung, he can abuse Serral. Depending on when he moves out, though. Bearing in mind that Ryung's been spending a lot of money here on his production, on his tech, on his upgrades. Blue Flame, Magfield, now his factories are getting underway. But again, will Ryung hit before Spire Tech? Spire at this point is halfway done. Yeah, mech has been confirmed. Overseer just sold the Cyclones. Now Serral knows. So where he's massing up more Ling Bane. Ryung does move out, and Ryung, can he break Serral? This is his time. Baneling speed is not yet done. Ryung, he's got to be more assertive here. Creep. Serral has to buy time for for speed. Baneling speed. No, Ryung, he turns around. He does race back home to defend. SCVs are going down, and Serral looks like he will buy time for Baneling speed. Again, Ryung, he could have abused this. Could have gone for it. Yeah, he's being too conservative. He's just poking, prodding. Again, he can punish this main army. But now it's too late. The mutas are coming. And Ryung, he had potential. At this point, Serral's defended. Yeah, at this point, Serral, he has defended. Setting up for a surround. Coming in from behind. Bailey's rolling on forward. Ryung has to get the hell out of here. Mutas now revealing themselves. Collapsing on the Cyclones. And Ryung, he will lose every Cyclone here. Oof. Expensive losses. Hellions likewise still getting picked up as well. Ryung does punish. At the same time, Serral gets into the mineral line. Sits by, denies mining. Going for the gold, gaining map control. And setting up for roaches. I swear, so there we go. Roach one is done. I would say it's very, very risky here to stay on Ling Bane the way that Serral is against Battle Mech, but yeah, he's pulling it off. But there we go. Roach speed has begun, +1 range. Serral now building up a greater anti-mech army. Serral picks in, pulls away. Ryung is still on a 3-base setup. There's no need for Serral to actually break the third. It just has to wait, bide his time, max out, and wait for Ryung to attempt to expand. We mentioned earlier just how spread out these bases are on Titan Citadel. How isolated they are and difficulties to defend. He does right in the middle line. Opening up the wall. Wall opens up. And Serral's maxed out. I've got Roaches and Ravagers incorporated as well. And this should be the target. I mean, technically the 4th or the 3rd. But now at this point, Ryung is split. He's spread out. Hellion on right does hit the gold. Nice run by. Nice run by so far. Likewise, Hellions are poking on the south side as well. So finally going to be engaging. Now we get some okay mine connections. And while Serral distracts the moves, they do hit the 3rd. So far, Ryung's holding on. He is holding on. Ideally, Serral, he does want to get rid of these mutas. As he bleeds out more mutas, replace them with more Ling Bane. That's a lot of Cyclones. Ryung trading well. He's getting on top of the gold. Serral's running him back at the same time. Nice baiting run by. Oof. Gets into the mineral line. Another SCVs! No! Oh my god, massive nation, 16 SCV kills! The SCVs go down. Serral, he defends, he attacks, he cripples the economy. And the Cyclones, they barely do not gain ground, they do not get onto the base. So just buying time. Infestors are soon to arrive. Getting to micro shot. Oh my god. Spas are connecting. As they connect. Meanwhile, big shout to see Grail in the chat. God, thanks so much. Thanks so much for subscribing for 36 months. 3 years. 3 years of support, Babi. God. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. STC Grail. And again, Ryung, as we mentioned, he failed to break. He failed to break that gold expansion, forced to rotate around instead. And now Serral, he's backing up those hungles. How many infestors? 5. 5 infestors with the main army. He's got those fungal growths ready. And now he can try to lock down Ryung. Oh, god. Very nice mine shots. So chat, do Cyclones have the speed upgrade? Cyclones have Macfield accelerators, if that's what you mean, which is not a speed upgrade. It does increase their damage output, if that's what you're referring to. He does push in towards the south side. Oof. Nice catch with the fungal. Down the Hellion Cyclone. Remember there was an upgrade that gave him the speed upgrade as well. Yeah, that was god. That had a name. Was it? No, it wasn't Karen Boosters, right? Oh, no, as we go for the fungal, okay. Sorry, as we go for the neural. Nearly the Cyclones. Yeah. As he can still plenty of energy. Still holding onto those fungals. It was a Hurricane Engines. That's it. I was trying to remember the name. That was removed a couple of years ago. That's it. I remember it was controversial because of the name, right? Like lore wise. Was that the upgrade where they changed the name? I mean, they removed it in the end, but yeah. Hurricane engines. Yeah, it's all good. I mean, the Cyclone has gone through a lot of iterations, to be fair, right? Like, there's been... The Cyclone might be one of the most patched units, at least in Legacy of the Void. Like, it has gone through so many, like wide-spanning iterations as well. Not just, like, adjustments here and there, but, like, straight-up big changes. That's so good. But yeah, that was a couple of years ago. No, that's it. Was it called like Hurricane Thrusters initially, and then they changed it to Hurricane Engines because like Cyclones don't have thrusters? It was something. It was something like that. Something like that. They changed it to engines. But now though, again collapsing on the army. Ryung, he's trying to split up the attention here of Serral, but the Broodlords have arrived. Serral making that switch into Broodlord Infestor, into that greater composition, and unfortunately Ryung is still stuck on Battle Mech. So, sorry, we were a little bit distracted, but Battle Mech does not scale too well into a longer game. At a certain point, you have to switch out of Battle Mech into a more traditional composition. You do see we have Vikings on the way, Thors are on the way, but no solid tank count yet. We're still stuck on a much more vulnerable, a much more glass cannon kind of composition here. The advantage of Battle Mech is its mobility for sure, but that also does sacrifice it when it comes to a head-on fight. It is that much weaker. That's Broodlords moving in. As Ryung, he does establish a 5th base, true. Does get a 5th base up and running. So you can see he's been accumulating his bank. That's the most concerning thing here. So does have a massive bank. Now pushing forward. How many Thors are there? There's 4. So far, just 4 Thors. So moving in. And we're waiting for those Neurals. Ideally, Serral does want to catch out those Thors with the Neurals. Likewise, Fungal the Vikings. Speaking of, does catch a Cyclone. Whatever you can get. Yeah, Biles are away. Broodlord's going to town on the Planetary. 26 SCV kills. Yeah, Leagues are getting into the middle line. SCVs are going down. Oh my god, the Biles connect. And not a Vikings on offense here. And Neurals the Viking. Kills the Raven. And Serral has done it at this point. He has done it. We can see that Ryung's getting desperate, going for a massive counter attack. He does catch reinforcements, that is true. But he will lose the main fight. So he turns back around. Getting up the harassing force. One Broodlord gets left behind. Most of the Broodlords, actually. But Ryung, he's broke. Ryung, he is broke. He has no bank. Ryung, he's running out of steam, running out of money. Again, he's just been too cost inefficient throughout the course of this game. I mentioned earlier that he just split out and he was stuck on a battle mech for too long. He failed to break any of the bases or hinder the economy of Serral. Very nice fungal. Catching out the cyclones. It's fine. Ryung can just float buildings. Serral's cooked. True. Just float away, man. Float away. Escape the planet. Ah. It's again Ryung. He's still just doubling down on the battle mech. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, hey, we've had some nice run bys. Infested the Shaheen. Ravens to confirm. Ryung, he just wants to expand, Pap. He just wants an economy. Just wants the mine. So he does night mining, denies the northern base and the center. Now moving in. Oh, the army's trapped. Uh-oh. Yeah, infestors are pushing forward. Disable some of the infestors. Let's go. Blast Biles are connecting. Biles connect Neurals as well. And with that Ryung, he will lose everything. The entire army crumbles. GG gets called, and Serral, he will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Serral does take lead in the series. Again, for the most part, Serral, he was looking very comfortable this game. I will say that Ryung had potential early on. If you remember, when Serral was going Ling Bane into mutas, there was a window in time at pre-muta and pre-baneling speed where Serral was vulnerable. And Ryung, he had potential to cripple. He could have crippled Serral 100%, but Ryung, he was so passive. He was playing so scared. Ryung, I feel like, was lacking some confidence there when it comes to pushing into the bases, as it looks like he didn't quite realize just the advantage that he had. If you remember, like, he had a massive army, and Serral was blindly going into Ling Bane muta before he confirmed it was mech, and Serral was exposed. He was exposed, he was vulnerable, the pants were down, but Ryung didn't take advantage. Was unable to take advantage. Serral got away with it, and then Serral snowballed from there. GG. GG, well played. There was definitely potential there for Ryung. Definitely potential. But now we're going to be loading into game 2. Going to be loading into Winter Madness. Let's go. Battlemaker's new anti-Serral build. I mean, if you're watching the game, like, Serral, he was never in any real danger, except for that early timing, just because Serral was playing blind, right? Again, like, Serral, he was blindly going into Ling Bane muta. Blindly was unaware of the extra factories until a little bit later when he was already committed. And there was definitely potential there for Ryung to break through, but it's lacking the confidence, maybe. But here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the finished Zerg player. We have the red Zerg getting proxied. Representing Basilisk, it is Serral. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran going for the proxy 2 racks. It is Ryung. Let's go. We have our first and second ranks. Ryung committing here into his own bunker rush. Now, bearing in mind, it's only 2 racks, so this is not all in. You can transition out of this, you can macro out of this, but you do have to get some damage done nonetheless. So we'll see how Serral reacts. This second overlord should be parked outside of the natural, as you can see here. So he will see the SCVs, he will see the bunkers ahead of time. Serral doesn't scout the proxy, but he's in position to scout the SCVs at least. So based on the initial builds, things looking good. Hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Serral. Remember last game, Serral did go for the earlier spawning pool. That was actually crazy, by the way. Oh, okay. Ryung revealing 3 SCVs. Trying to force an overreaction. Okay. 3 SCVs are revealed. Basically, Ryung is making it look like a 3-Rax. So he throws down the wall of bunkers. Boys are being pulled. Serral, he will shut this down. But he has to work through that bunker. We do have a full wall. Ryung gets 1. He gets 2 drones. 2 drones go down. That's a kill. Oh, that's a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. 3rd, 4th drone does fall, but we get us around. And catching out 2 Marines. That's still a lot of dead drones, though. 6 drone kills for only a 2-Rax. But the army is surrounded. Bunkers are denied. We can now go back to mining. And Ryung did towards a surprising amount of damage here. This should not have gone in 7 drones. Crazy damage. Oh, even 14. Oh, yeah, overreaction. Huge overreaction here. Serral, he was convinced it was a 3-Rax. Getting a spine crawler as well. Which, as you can imagine, was very unnecessary. So again, Ryung, he was able to kill extra drones. Zone back the Lings. And this is a shaky start here for Serral. Very, very shaky. And from here, the game continues. Remember, this is not all in. This is not all in. CC behind this, CC before factory. Going, let's go. Double expanding, going for the natural and going for the 3rd CC. Okay. Ryung being hyper greedy. And I do like this. Like the chances of Serral going for an all-in is quite low. I do think that if we were casting any other player, a 2-base all-in would make a lot of sense considering the losses that Serral just sustained. But Serral, he's not really the kind of player to all-in ZvT. So from here, we're going to slow down. We're going to slow things down. We're going to build up into the mid-game. Serral scouts. Serral, he will confirm the CC. And Ryung was out of position. Ryung, he was hunting for an overlord, so it failed to deny the scouts. Serral now knows he is safe to drone. And safe to expand. Technically, there could have been like a factory into reactor Helen, into armory or something crazy like that. Jesus, Ryung being so greedy. Look at this, going 3cc into double eBay as well before factory. Hyper greed out of Ryung. Now, I feel like the best follow-up from here, just because of the insane greed that we're seeing out of Ryung, is to go for a 3-base all-in, to go for an 8-Rax. I feel like an 8-Rax, given this kind of setup, would hit very hard with +2. Not a 1-1 timing, but a 2-2 timing. I will see if Ryung commits, if he goes for an 8-Rax. As the Zergling does actually sit by. It does sit by and, oh, doesn't scout anything. It barely doesn't get vision. Lair's on the way. I believe it's going to be Lair first. Yeah, Lair first before the Evo chambers, before the upgrades. What does the Lair first mean? The Lair first does allow for a faster scout. It means that this Overlord can morph into an Overseer and actually get into the bases. So we will see an earlier Overseer scout. But this does mean that we have later Evo chambers and later upgrades for Serral. But again, he has to figure out what's going on. For all he knows, it could be mech again.
Swarm forces under attack.
It could be mech again. Does night mining, okay. Does force a reaction. Oof. And Ryung forced to reveal extra Marines. Here comes that Overseer Scout, as I did mention. Overseer's morphing in. Oh, the armory is a little bit late. So you can see here 1-1 is finishing. Ideally, you want the armory lined up with this. So a little bit disjointed. It's a little bit nitpicky here, but at the same time, like, I feel like against Serral, like, you gotta lock in, you know? And does got both eBays. Okay, Serral, he confirms buyer.
Swarm forces under attack.
So he confirms the buyer. Behind this, getting up to 5 Raxes. Everything's looking normal so far. And we're waiting for an extra 3 Raxes. We're getting creative here. I mean, I feel like this is necessary. Burrow's on the way, so Serral's going to be setting up some bailing mines. Which, against a potential 8 Rax, I feel like is going to be quite necessary. Overseer tries to get a scout off. Again, Serral's looking for the gate. Sorry, looking for the Rax count. And we soon got to make a decision. Do we take gases or do we get a... he's getting a 4cc. 4cc. Ryung is not going for an A-Rax. He's not going for an all-in. Ryung is macroing. Which means Serral is safe. Serral, he's safe to just drone. Safe to drone, safe to tech. Macro hatch is on the way. Infestation bit, hive tech, into ultras. I feel like Ryung had potential here. He's now going for Raxes, but this is after taking a gas, after getting a 4cc. Like, technically he's building up to 8 Raxes, but this is a weaker setup. Oh, the Bane Mines. Let's go. Speaking of... Oh! He's so close. Casito, casito. Oh, can he lure him back? Not quite. Ryung, he just moved out. No shot. No shot. There's nothing here. Yeah, Lings, they hit the 3rd base. Wouldn't mind do burrow. One of the shots gets baited. Ryung is pushing, but there's Ling Bane back at home. Serral, he denies the 3rd completely. And again, Ryung just completely out of position. The pants are down. Back with the pants are down. They should not be dealing this much damage. Ryung does kill a hatchery, but Ryung is stuck on a 2-base economy. Thankfully, Ryung at least saves his SCVs, but he will lose control of his 3rd. Oh. Meanwhile, Serral's getting his hive, infestation pits. As we mentioned, the 4cc was indicative that Ryung was not going to commit to a push. Just harassing with drops. Oh, can he lure him in? Oh, can he bait him? Can he bait him over? Nah, still not quite. Gonna be so disappointed if these Banelings don't come into play. I'm gonna they have so much potential. But they may not. Festus have arrived. We spoke about it earlier. Hive is now done. Ultra Cavern is on the way. So that is Serral's final form to get into Ultras. Oh! Nice line connection. So Ryung does catch a queen. Clears over a bunch of creep. Oof. Does take a fungal to the face. Oh, god. Sally trades well. Catching up the army. So he's coming across the map. Oh my god, Mind Shot doing some friendly fire. Better connection towards it, much better connections towards the end. That's a lot of Mind Shots going off. But Serral is holding. Serral is holding, and again, the wing conditioning for Serral is just defending us until ultras. Oof. Catching up more fire. Trading with the Marines. Oh no, he spots the Bailings! The scan revealed the Bailings. And Serral, he's gonna calm down. Once again, collapsing on the army. Oh. Yeah, catching more reinforcements. Are we even gonna get to the ultras? Are we even gonna get there? As Ryung is being broken, Bailey's they roll into the mineral line. And Ryung thankfully does pull away in time. Oh, did you notice? Okay. Yes, Serral, we gotta calm down. Calm down. Burrowing in his face. Ryung does defend, and behind this we have Serral now finally embracing those ultras. We have 4 ultras in production. Kind of splitting is almost done. 3-3 is almost done. Serral, he's getting there. And currently, as you can see, Ryung, he has no ghosts. There are no ghosts. There's minimal marauders. He is not ready for ultra tech. Ooh, massive fungal. Fungal goes off. Ultra moves in. The mine shots have been the bloodbath here. The mine shots have been brutal throughout this entire game, actually. The mines have been connecting. Young, the OG animal. True, true. The tune-up after. Now, the one downside of this composition that Serral has, which is quite common, is lack of anti-air. So these drops, they're going by unimpeded. Typically, once you get the hive, you get a couple of Vipers, and then your anti-air is parasitic bombs. But we're going for the Spire instead, for Corruptors, for eventually Corruptor Broodlord. No Vipers in sight. Vipers, Ryung does peel off towards the left-hand side. Still trying to be active. Ooh, as the fungal once again does land. Catching at the bio. Let's see Ryung permanent supply. Again, Ryung, he's done a decent job when it comes to trading with the army up until this point, at least against the Ling Pain. Again, we've seen just so many insane mine connections, but now that the ultras have hit the field, like things, the dynamic is changing. Dynamic is changing. Ryung, he's being more scared. Do we have the academy yet? No. Oof. Yeah, still no academy here. Still no ghosts. And this is a very kind of brute force style that Ryung is going for, and unfortunately, it actually reminds me a lot about Game 1. True. If you recall, what was one of our criticisms of Game 1, especially coming into this kind of game state, was that Ryung was stuck on Battle Mech. Here, Ryung is stuck on Marine Marauder Medevac. Mine. Like, there's no switching to Liberators, there's no switching to Ghosts. So as the game progresses, Ryung is being outscaled. One army supply is not quite like the other. Ryung does kill a base though. I mean, they trade. Planetary and 13 SCVs for a hatchery. Fungal lands, nice snipe there from Ryung. Catching out one of the infestors. But again, because he's stuck with this army, like I can never see Ryung winning a head-on fight. Oh, fungal lands! Yeah, massive connection. Ultras, they collapse in. Another fungal lands as well, and Ryung, his army just melts completely. And this is what we spoke about. Like, like Ryung can never fight head-on. Don't like this. As he does kite back against the ultras, getting 1, 2, 3 ultras. Not bad. We're missing some support here. Ultras on their own, they're quite fragile. So decent fight here for Ryung. Let's take a decent fight. Against Serral here, extended. He kept pushing despite not having Link Bane with his army. You need that Link Bane. And Ryung is burning through his bank. Just like last game, he's running out of money, running out of resources. Now Serral's army is more cost efficient. It's got that larger bank as well. Serral does collapse in, going for the planetary. Planetary goes down. Serral pulls away. Ryung looking for damage. Trying to find an opening. And Ryung's army is quite mobile thanks to all the medevacs, thanks to all the potential drop play. Serral's there. Serral once again does collapse in. The infestors are a little bit too far behind, so no fungals. No fungals. Nice spread here from Ryung. Nice spread. Meanwhile, Serral does try to move in. Does take a massive mind shield to the face. Okay. Ryung takes some better fights. Better fights, better trades against Serral struggling a little bit here. Ooh, does land the fungal though. Lands the fungal on the top side. So being a little bit wasteful here towards the south side instead, leading on more ultras. Oh god. But there we go, the mass lane does clean up. I think it's that bad. Oof. And once again, Serral overextending. Losing another ultra. And infestor as well. Serral, we're gonna calm down. Let's calm down. Back off, rebuild. And now we can collapse in. Ryung has just been stuck on the back foot for so long here. For the majority of this game. Serral gets on the mineral line. A planetary and mineral land as well, so he does race on over. He will lose an expansion, but these trades are still better for Serral. Still better. Ryung just needs an economy. He's floating over. Oh, he's floating over. Claiming his 5th. Meanwhile, big shout to Sian in the chat. God, obrigado. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Obrigado, papi. Obrigado. Fala, galera. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great cast, I'm assuming. Hope you had a great time. Gracias, papi. Gracias. Obrigado. So once again, they'll sit by, this time into the 3rd. Oh, again, we've been seeing a lot of mine shots like that this game. 14 kills in that Widow mine. There's been a lot of that. But there we go. The fringe races are going down for both players. Hatchery for a planetary. The mine shots have been crazy. Is that been crazy? But Ryung, he's finally running out of steam. He's down to 10 SCVs. Only 10 SCVs. Ryung, he can't make anything. He's got 1 Marine in the production tab. GG gets called. And Serral, he will claim the series 2-0, taking down Ryung. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Serral, he will claim the series. Again, Ryung, he did have an interesting approach here. Honestly, I really like the opener here in game 2. Like, Ryung, he had a really nice start. If you remember, he went proxy Churax. He killed 7 drones. He forced an overreaction. He took a lead. He double expanded. And he went into a faster double eBay as well. And I was totally expecting to see a 3-base all-in to make use of that timing, to make use of 2-2. But no, instead, Ryung, he chose not to get extra axes. He chose to get a forward CC. Once that happened, it felt like that momentum that Ryung once had early on was kind of wasted. He then lost that momentum. In the end, Serral was able to gain map control, and we did emphasize just unfortunately the lack of longevity that Ryung's army had. He never got into Ghosts, he never got into Liberators, he never switched out of Bio Mine, and as a result, he never could really threaten Serral. Like, at no point was Serral in any real danger outside once we got into the mid game. Yes, Ryung, he was able to counterattack and go for drops and kill some bases, that is true, but he could never really threaten the main army, not once Ultras popped out. That was kind of the win condition for Serral, and Ryung was kind of stuck in the mid game. GG. GG, well played. With that, Serral does claim the series, and we're going to be following our players, following Ryung actually, into his next matchup. Let's go. It's going to be a TVP with Ryung and Jumi, facing off in a best of 3. Let's go.